Tensions in the Middle East have escalated again. In recent days, the conflict between Iran and Israel has significantly escalated. A series of military attacks by both sides, air operations, missile launches, and increased melee in various regions have occurred. This situation has raised many countries in the region's vigilance. The development of this conflict has also attracted international attention due to its potential impact on regional stability. One trigger for the latest escalation is a military operation against several targets in Iran. Airstrikes reportedly hit several strategic cities. The capital, Tehran, was among the areas reportedly hit by explosions. Furthermore, the city of Isfahan was also named and as a target. Isfahan is known for its industrial facilities and military technology. The attack allegedly targeted military infrastructure, including air defense systems and facilities supporting missile development.
Following the attack, Iran responded by launching several ballistic missiles. The missile launches were carried out from several regions within Iran. The primary target of this attack was central Israel. Several missiles were aimed at the city of Tel Aviv, Israel's economic and technological center, APACO. This attack demonstrated Iran's ability to reach targets hundreds to thousands of kilometers from its territory. After the missile launch was detected, Israel's air defense system was immediately activated. Military radars monitored the trajectory of the approaching object. Several interceptor systems were then deployed. Defense systems such as the Iron Dome and long-range interceptors played a role in preventing the missiles from reaching the city, Gati. Some of the missiles were destroyed in the air, but others still reached the ground. In several parts of Tel Aviv, explosions were reported after the attack. Several buildings suffered exterior damage. Windows shattered due to the pressure of the blast wave. Several vehicles near the missile impact point were also damaged. Emergency teams were immediately deployed to handle the situation. Rescue workers inspected buildings and assisted affected residents. The damage was primarily localized around the blast point. Several apartment buildings suffered minor to moderate damage. That image. Debris was visible on several roads. However, the city's main infrastructure such as electricity and emergency services remained operational. Public transportation experienced temporary disruptions in some areas. After security checks were carried out, some services gradually resumed. For Tel Aviv residents, this situation affected daily activities. When warning sirens sounded, residents were required to immediately head to shelters or bunkers. Most buildings in Israel are equipped with shelters. Public shelters are also available in various parts of the city. Some families chose to temporarily stay in these shelters during the attacks. Meanwhile, military operations against targets in Iran reportedly continued. Several military facilities were again targeted. In addition to Tehran and Isfahan, the Kermanshah region was also mentioned in several reports as a location for military activity. This region is known to contain installations related to missile systems. The attacks on these locations were aimed at reducing Iran's missile launch capabilities. Within Iran itself, the security situation improved. Air defenses were deployed at various strategic locations. Several areas in Tehran reportedly nabiran explosions due to airstrikes. However, most city activities continued. Markets, transportation, and community activities continued in many districts. Nevertheless, security alert levels were heightened. During this period of conflict, several reports also mentioned communications disruptions. National internet connections in Iran were briefly down, making access to information from within the country more limited. In some areas, communication services were also slowed down. These disruptions added to the challenges for citizens trying to follow developments in real time. The conflict also involved other actors in the region. The Lebanon-based Hezbollah group reportedly launched attacks on northern Israel using rockets and drones. Among the targets mentioned were military facilities near the border. One of the locations reportedly targeted was Ramah David Air Base. This attack widened the dynamics of the conflict in the region. In response to the attack, the Israeli military conducted a retaliatory operation. Airstrikes were directed at several locations in southern Lebanon. The targets mentioned included positions suspected of being rocket launch sites. This operation demonstrated that the conflict was not only between two countries, but also involved regional militant groups. This situation has made security on the Lebanon-Israel border increasingly sensitive. With the involvement of various parties, this conflict has the potential to escalate. Iran and Israel are the main actors. However, regional militant groups and the interests of other countries are also involved in this conflict. Therefore, many analysts believe that regional stability depends heavily on the next steps of each party. Any military operation could trigger a subsequent response.
Okay.